girlfriend cheated on me, and she was talking about to 1,000 niggas. All right, so she wanted to leave the house, and I told her we could work things out. So she mazed me. She threw some pepper spray on me, and then I beat her. I got her with 2 swollen eyes. Okay.
We have now interrupted your regularly scheduled programming to bring you.
All right, so welcome back to another episode of the Warheads. I'm Apocalypto Joe.
I'm Roscoe Brown. Hi.
Threads.
And today we just want to encourage everybody to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Help us get to 100 subscribers. That's our goal for the end of June. Help a few brothers out in the process.
Please.
Hey.
However, today, brothers, want to talk about the simp and the succubus. The simp versus the succubus. So on the 26th of May, there was a standoff on the highway out in San Diego. It says I-5 freeway standoff suspect dead after self-inflicted gunshot wound. This was taken from the San Diego Union Tribune. At the beginning of the video, we all saw his rant on his IG talking about how he caught his woman cheating on him with, as I quote, hundreds of niggas. But the thing that kind of tripped me out about this guy, because the news isn't even saying his name right now, is he was still willing to work things out with this woman. So you guys have seen the video. What's your takeaways from this situation with the simp versus the succubus?
Should I go, or do you want to take this, Silk?
You can go.
All right. Well, my take on it is this was it was a sucker move. Like, and you know, I may seem like callous in some regard, I guess, but the way that I look at people in most situations when you talk about suicide, because that's what ended up happening at the end of this, the dude taking his life, but I think it was selfish of him, like terribly selfish, because he left behind so many people that now have to deal with, you know, him being gone. But there's the other level of how did we even get here, you know, and how did you get this sucked in to this woman is my whole thought about this. How do you let yourself fall in love with a person? Because if you're this deep in with a person to where you want to hurt yourself, hurt others, or I don't think that's love, you know. But yeah, if you're that deep in with somebody, like, you probably need to seek some type of counseling, talk to somebody or something. You maybe have some type of chemical imbalance or something going on within yourself. But yeah, those are the things that I think about, is how we even got to this point before we even get here to where he's in the car. But yeah, it doesn't sit right with me at all. I don't like it, again, because of him leaving everybody behind. But it's just, I really don't have much to say, but I just feel a lot of anger behind this, because he could have saved himself a lot of drama and issues, because I'm sure that the chick that he's dealing with presented some type of clues that she was the person that she was. You know, she was messing with all these people, like he said. She probably was doing it for however long, and he decided to accept it. So, you know, yeah, that's just my thoughts on the whole deal. But Silk, you can go ahead.
Here we go. My bad. I'll start off by saying that May is Mental Illness Month. And This is a case of mental illness brought on by sexual gratification, because this woman has to have allegedly the throat goblin 2300 with the extra with the extra reservoir for spit. Or she got the Vajay 2300 with the vibration mode.
Is that like the T1000 but the female human version?
Absolutely.
Right.
It got the auto rotation and pulsation mode to it with the extra wetness.
With the alloy attachments.
Yeah, all that. But we laughing, but it's sad that here's a guy. He seems like from his demeanor, he's a meek type guy. Probably a pushover from his demeanor, and the ability to take his life over something. I won't say it's trivial because domestic violence is not trivial, but from his own admission, the only thing he did was he said he blacked her eyes. He gave her 2 swollen eyes, fighting her off or, trying to fight to keep her there.
Well, I wouldn't say only because two black eyes is a big thing. So,
I hate to do it, but that just reminded me of a real bad joke.
No, that same joke came to mind, and we shouldn't be laughing at domestic violence.
Y'all might as well say it. Say it. What's the joke? What's the joke, Silk?
What do you tell a female with 2 black eyes?
Nothing. You already told her twice. We shouldn't be laughing at this.
I'm going to hell for that, but
ladies, I'm sorry about that. We are not laughing at domestic. That is a funny joke.
None at all. It was just appropriate at that time. But
for the story, it's for the purposes of the story only.
Only. I don't beat on women. Don't do that. My wife will tell you. She could attest to that.
Nobody advocates that here.
But in this case, maybe he should have dealt with his punishment more than just taking his life, because I think that was more selfish, like you just said, Roscoe. Now he leaves family members, mothers, brothers, sisters, cousins, friends to lament over his passing. He already know that she wasn't a faithful woman because he said hundreds, right?
Hundreds of niggas.
Classification. So these 100 black guys then beat up the womb.
Let's
we
be
can't
clear.
assume they was black.
Okay, we're not doing that one.
No, I'm just saying because in Mexicans they call other Mexicans niggas too.
Right. The term niggas is ubiquitous now.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we on the classification level. Okay, cool. Well, that means she was around the neighborhood, Jolly Ranch and everybody, and he took it. He wanted what he had. She was doing something that made him feel good as a person. Either that being selfish or not, his feelings, his emotional state, his sexual state was fulfilled by this woman. And he dealt with the fact that she did this and wanted to forgive her, but she said, I can't stop fucking these niggas.
Wow. You know what this reminds me of, Silk? This reminds me of the movie Tax Collector, and there's a scene in the movie Tax Collector where there's a Latino gang that's in the movie that have captured a black guy from a rival gang, and so they've captured this guy under the I guess this black guy he's been messing around with one of the SA's girlfriends, so they I guess the guy, he checked in her inboxes, her texts and all this and that, and found out about the guy, and so they captured the black guy under that precinct and tortured him and all this just for that reason, just because he was and knowing that they have to do business with these people. They ended up letting them go and all that, but still, the emotion of this stuff that's happening, it even creeps into, movies, but art imitates life, is real. You know what I mean? And this particular essay, you know, he's going through the same stuff and decides that he can't be accountable for his actions at the end of the day, because when what he did was like totally bogus. You know, like he went and he put his hands on this woman, and you know, gets into this high speed chase, and now doesn't want to answer for that crime. You know, so yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me.
But yeah, so now that you brothers have had your say, you guys have heard the expression "stranger than fiction," right?
Yeah.
Sometimes life can be stranger than fiction. So I wanted to go into this definition of a succubus. It says a succubus is a demon or supernatural entity in folklore, in female form, that appears in dreams to seduce men, usually through sexual activity. According to religious traditions, repeated sexual activity with a succubus can cause poor physical or mental health, even death. Now, I believe in the spirit realm. I don't believe that the spirit realm is detached from us like people think. I believe it's ever present. I believe it's omnipresent. However, with this guy, Roscoe, you asked the question, how do you get drawn in? Silk gave you an answer with the, what was it, Silk? What did you call the
turbo throat?
The turbo throat. She's the throat goat. She was a throat goat.
Hey, it be that. It's always second.
I'm gonna tell you how this happens, because like if you watch the full extended IG clip, he has a cousin trying to talk him off the ledge. He's admitting to the fact that he doesn't want to go back to prison, so we already see that he has priors. Yes, that was mentioned in the extended video. So he has priors. And one thing that I know about some men, not all, but once you've been in that penal system, you'll do anything not to go back. And so a lot of them, they get out and they're on their best behavior. But when it comes to this succubus who had the unmitigated gall to sit up here and cheat on this man with hundreds of niggas, as he says, once again, the term niggas is ubiquitous. That could be white people, brown people, dark brown people, melanin rich people, Asian niggas.
Or fish.
You name it.
Fish could be niggas too.
Yes.
Why? Puerto Rican jealous.
However, I guarantee you, when she came into his life, she came looking like an angel.
Absolutely.
Men don't get caught up on hoes if they can visibly see she's a hoe. If there's a reputation attached to her, see, a lot of these women, they're very covert in their activities. And she probably told him, you know, my name ain't in them streets. You need to pick a winner like me. You know, it's been said a million times by a million different succubus, just like this woman. And this guy, you know, being out of prison, he just wants someone who's truly gonna hold him down. So I guarantee you, during that honeymoon phase, like Steve said, that throat goat came out and he fell in love. You know, this man has kids. You know, they show one of his newborn babies at the end of the video. And one of his IG photos, he's holding a child. So he really wants to be a family man. Even in the video, he's even saying that he wanted to work things out, even though he knew that she had been dealing with hundreds of niggas. So this lets you know, not only was he sprung, but he was hopeful. He was trying to talk some sense into her. But in typical succubus fashion, once she knew she had him on the hook, that's when the abuse began, the invalidating of who he was as a man. All the good things he did. You know, he splurged on her. You know, he was there for, if she ever was in a bind, you know he was there for her, because that's how those bonds come about. You don't sit up here and extend yourself for a known hoe as a man. But if it's a hoe in disguise, like what was that, Transformers, the Decepticons? Decepticons, their whole purpose was to deceive. And so that's what she was. And so that's how this man got caught up. I still blame him for simping, but I know how a man who wants a family, who wants a woman who's going to hold him down, who pretended like she would hold him down in the beginning. I don't even know their story. I just know how men view hoes and how we view women, and how a lot of hoes can disguise themselves as women, but only for a brief period of time. If he hadn't been paying attention, he would have saw all the red flags along the way, and he would have dealt with that situation accordingly. So I don't have any sympathy for the simp because he should have known better. But bro, I know you're dead now. She's gonna be still dealing with hundreds of niggas. You could have just walked away and dealt with hundreds of hoes.
He should have went and did his little 8 months in jail for that domestic charge. But then again, listening to the tone of his voice, his character, he probably didn't have the best time when he was in jail the last time.
Right.
You know, he probably had some ordeal in there that he was like, I'll die before I go back and go through that again. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he was abused in there. We don't know if he was misused in there. He looks like the type that would be extorted. He sounds like the type that would be extorted because you don't hear any alpha in his voice. He's a straight beta male, you know, and it reflects on his life, you know. I'm pretty sure after maybe he probably missed the first 20, you know, people who his wife been cheating on him with, but I'm pretty sure he found out before he got to 100.
Oh, most certainly.
This isn't the, what, 100? I'll kill you. You know, this doesn't sound like that situation, because it was more like, it sounded like, oh, 100? I don't care. I love you. You know, you can do whatever you want to do. Just make sure you keep doing it to me. You know, it was selfish. His motivation was selfish because anybody with some sense would get away from what hurt them. You know, nobody keeps their hand inside the fire as it's burning.
Well, I think probably what it was the children. Once you have children with somebody, like with a hoe, she knows she has an in-home babysitter now, and she can resume her previous hoe activity. So stay home with the kids. I'm going over my cousin's house. That's where I'll be. But she ain't with her cousins. And even if she is with her cousins know she's a hoe, and they'll cover for her while she's hoeing. And so when he's calling her, she's not picking up her phone because she's getting pounded out by these hundreds of niggas, probably in fivesomes. I don't know. That's speculation. I shouldn't say that. However, every time I think about this situation, this is what I know about women. Women are very crafty. They're very sneaky. They can be. Not all. We're talking about the ones, only the hit dogs. If you're a hit dog, holler in the comments though. Women, when they get caught cheating, it's because they want to get caught cheating.
Facts.
That's what I know about women. They know how to hide that stuff till the end of time, if they really want to. Once they're showing you that they're cheating, they're putting it on display for you. Like, what you gonna do? Yo move. Say that again?
Time is up, technically.
Right.
You know, no woman let goes of a man, even if he's a bad dude, before they have another man. You get what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And most likely it's that nigga that's over on the side that's calling himself her best friend.
Right. The workmate, the best friend, you name it. It doesn't matter. These are succubus, demonic women. They're out here. I just want to put this out here. Fellas, stop falling in love. You know, only love them halfway. You have to have more love for yourself than you have for anybody else. Never get caught up. When it's time to walk away, you know when it's time to walk away, and just leave. Save yourself respect, your dignity, maintain your family. This is a travesty and a tragedy all wrapped up in one. This is oh my God. This is sad all around. But what's y'all's takeaway before we get up out of here?
Well, I just want to kind of piggyback off of what y'all was saying. But I just think it's important that you, again, and I've said this in past shows that we've done about just investing the time and learning some of these people. something that this guy should have done way in the beginning. And again, he would have probably saw a lot of the signs of her being extramarital. You know what I mean? So you just take that time to learn these people, man, and you can avoid a lot of this BS. That's all I gotta say.
I'll say the majority of relationships, if you take the sex out of the relationship, you're fine. You really don't have anything in common. The majority of relationships. Take the time and find your best friend, you know? And a lot of people make that mistake like, oh, that's my best friend. We can't have no relationship. We'll ruin everything. No, God put your best friend there for you to be with your best friend. Your mate should be your best friend, not the homies. Do you get what I'm saying? Right. Not the homies. Your woman should be your best friend. Then when situations arise or accidents happen in your life where maybe the sex isn't as it normally is, your relationship won't deteriorate because that's all it was based on. That was the foundation. When the foundation of your relationship is based on sex, when it's gone, your relationship is gone. Or it's going to be a lot of niggas in there supplementing her sexual income.
My takeaways, I'm not saying that this guy is a good guy, but I think he wanted to be a good guy. I know he had priors, but that doesn't necessarily not make you a good guy. He might have tried to reform himself. But I will say this, stop falling in love, walk into love. When you're falling, you're not in control. You know, it's very erratic. You don't know where you're gonna land. When you walk into love and you take your time and you're patient with learning somebody, a person with the proper amount of red flags, I think about 5 red flags is about good to say that this ain't gonna work. Yeah, you know, I think 5 major red flags, because we're all imperfect, but a lack of loyalty, when you're dealing with somebody who hasn't cut off their past, you know, if the man or the woman you're dealing with still has access to all their exes through social media and they can just text and hit your messenger, that's probably something you should hold out for. And so it takes time to smoke that out. And so people have to be patient and not so quick just because the throat goat 3000, what you call it?
Close enough. New product all the time.
Just because the throat goat 3000 turned you out.
Throat goat T2.
The T2000. You have to be like, oh, that was some good throat goat, and then come back to reality. I think Jay-Z said it best, even though I'm not advocating for this, but he said on Cashmere Dreams, you only love them when your dick's hard.
Yeah, Cashmere
come back
Thoughts.
to reality is all I'm saying.
Yeah, Cashmere Thoughts. Yeah,
Cashmere Thoughts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's my point.
And
yeah,
so,
only love them when your dick hard.
And I'm not just saying that women should be used just for sexual gratification, but what I'm saying is don't let the sex overrule your common sense. Look for those red flags and be patient when looking. One thing about fake people, they can only fake for so long. Most of them are not true marathon runners. They're just sprinters, and they can only go for a little while. But when it comes to that mile 1, mile 2, mile 10, mile 20, they won't be there for you. At any rate, this is another episode of the Warheads. We want you to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Once again, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of June. Help some brothers out. Warheads.